Good morning to you, Kevin, and afternoon on my side. I'm very, very excited and extremely grateful to chat to Kevin Monroe today. And I don't have to say much. This is Kevin's signature. And you are the great gratitude person. Tell us something a little bit more. I'm not going to introduce you too much. When I met you the first time, your introduction was amazing. You said I could tell you guys anything you want because no one knows me yet. So please tell us a little bit more about gratitude and why gratitude.
Wow. Well, Content College Clubbers, good day, good moment, whatever time of day it is when you watch this. Sorry, I looked away. I had to put my do not disturb on so we don't hear these pings and dings the whole time I'm talking to Michelle. Oh, so I call myself, I've called myself a lot of things, and other people have called me a lot of things. Gratitude Ambassador is this title that I have taken on in the last couple of years. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. And I want to say this, Michelle, you too, and you watching, you too are or can become a gratitude ambassador. Here's what it takes. One, believe gratitude is a powerful force in the universe. And two, believe the world needs more of it. If you believe those two things, well, raise your hand. You're now a gratitude ambassador. My life over the last 4+ years has been transformed by the power of gratitude. I discovered, okay, I did not study gratitude at grad school. I did not study gratitude in any official program. I discovered gratitude during a dark night of the soul for me, right? One of those days, I've had 3 bouts of depression in my adult life. And one of those, and so now I've learned to recognize when I'm on the slippery slope, right? When I'm on the precipice. And if something doesn't change, if I continue in the direction I'm headed, I'm going down the spiral. And I woke up April 17th, 2018 was one of those mornings. Most mornings I'm up before 5 a.m. without an alarm clock. This morning it was 4:40. And I was so excited that I was going to be talking to Michelle. We were swapping messages at 6 a.m. my time. I'm like, gosh, in 3 hours from now, we're going to be talking. And here we are. But that morning, I couldn't drag my fanny out of bed. I didn't want to get up. It was 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning before I got up. And I finally drugged myself up. And because I have morning rhythms and routines, I leaned into that. And I just cried out in prayer, Spirit, spark creativity in me. And that's what the spark ultimately led to discovering gratitude.
Amazing. And so our theme this month of December is celebration, really. And I think gratitude possibly is that first step towards celebration. It's finding or becoming quiet, I suppose. I love being part of your gratitude challenge, and this morning's little video or today's video I watched, and it was about looking up at the sky and being grateful for the small things. And I think that's where our celebrations possibly start as well. But why gratitude? Why not joy? Or, what sparked that bit?
Okay, wow. There's so much here. And Michelle, on my morning walk this morning, I listened to that meditation 5 or 6 times. I just kept replaying it.
Yeah.
And I actually stopped 2 different times when David Stendhal Rast, who's doing the meditation, says, stop, look up at the sky. I stopped and I looked up the sky and I snapped photographs. And I've posted one of those on LinkedIn, and I'm inviting you and a bunch of others to do the same. What do you see when you look up, right? And imagine how many different views of the sky there are that we all see today. Gratitude. Okay. A couple of things. One, I've discovered gratitude's the gateway to goodness. Gratitude's the gateway to the good life. Gratitude is what opens the door and You said joy. Gratitude never travels alone.
Uh, okay.
Gratitude never travels alone. Joy never travels alone. Abundance never travels alone. Other kindness, compassion, all of these things. When we invite one into our life, the others show up. I just think of it. Have you ever seen the clown cars? In a circus, and the car, a
Yes.
little really small car
Yeah.
shows up, and all of a sudden, 20 clowns come climbing out of this car. Well, that's kind of what happened with gratitude. When you invite gratitude into your life, joy shows up, abundance shows up, kindness shows up, compassion shows up, happiness shows up. It's like, because they travel together.
That's it.
Now, I love this reflection,
Mm.
right? And to me, gratitude, you have one of these now, the magnet, right?
Oh,
Pause, notice, express. When people have asked me over the last 3 years, how do I grow gratitude? I just heard myself saying that over and over and over. And finally, I heard myself like, oh, wow, to grow gratitude, it's pause. And when you pause, just slow down, even for a moment, and then just stop, look around, look up, look down, look in, look back, you know, and notice something good. And when you do that, then you just express however you want to express it. You know, express it. Now, I have a definition of gratitude that a friend of mine wrote in a journal she created. And she'd been on this gratitude journey with me for a couple of years. She sent me this journal. I'm like, oh my gosh, Patty, that's the best definition of gratitude I've ever heard. May I use it? And she said, of course.
yeah.
Gratitude, appreciation for all that we have, all that we are, and thankfulness for our ability to show love and kindness to others. Now, Michelle, when I first started discovering gratitude, or was first taught to be grateful or to be thankful, it was always for those things,
Mm.
right? It was for things in life, which is good to be grateful for things. But what if we move beyond that and become grateful for who I am, who you are that are watching this, even with our idiosyncrasies, even with those things that make us so incredibly unique or annoying to others? What if we can be
Or
grateful for
ourselves.
that, or ourselves, right? What if we can be grateful for that,
Mm.
and then expand that and be grateful for your fellow clubbers and your ability to connect with other like-hearted people, like-minded people, and share love, compassion, kindness, creativity, co-creativity together. What if we can expand our gratitude to include all of that? Wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing. And this is exactly what I've been thinking, because obviously since I met you, what is it now, about 2 weeks ago, I think we were
It's been
happened
a
to
long
be
time. We're
it's
old
been
friends
years.
now.
Yes. So I've been thinking a lot about gratitude, especially knowing that I'm going to chat to you today. And I was thinking about my children, because
Mm,
they always want more, and bigger and better, and maybe my daughter more than my son, prettier and flashier, and to teach them to appreciate. And that comes back to your
mm.
definition, um that bit about appreciating what we already have, because that's what draws the rest in, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay. Yes. And if we cannot appreciate what we have now, what makes us think we're going to appreciate what we get next?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And okay, something else. And this has come up in a couple of conversations this week. I started thinking about this maybe last year, maybe earlier this year. And I just noticed people, and so when we're talking about reflecting on your journey through this year,
Yeah.
we'll come back to that in a moment. Let me say this first, right? So many of us have this mindset that We've got to save gratitude for something really spectacular in life, something really big, something really gratitude worthy. Oh, I wrote a book. No, 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 no. My book became a New York Times best-selling book. That's when I'll be grateful. It's kind of like, well, if you think like that, you have a mistaken belief that gratitude is a scarce resource and it must be saved. And you're a gratitude hoarder, right? Holding on for when the really big. But what if we discover gratitude is a renewable resource? And the more gratitude we express, the more we have and the more we find to express things for. So 2 weeks ago today, I was talking to a friend who is a very, by all standards, very successful person, two-time best-selling author, CEO of a company, founder of a company, amazing person, and telling me, I struggle a bit with gratitude, and I'm just trying to find things to be grateful for. And the one thing that comes up to my mind a lot when I'm in the shower is hot water. I'm grateful for hot water. And I'm like, well, can we expand on that just a little bit? What about running water, right? Not just is it hot, but you have running water in your home.
Yeah.
How many millions of people in the world don't have that in 2022 or 2023? There's still millions that don't have that. Oh, and that same water you shower in is clean enough to drink.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm struggling. What can I be grateful for? Water,
Yeah.
hot water, running water, clean water, drinkable water. Oh, electricity.
Yeah.
How many people don't have electricity today? Mind blowing. Still don't.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a home, right?
Yeah.
You have blood flowing through your
Yeah.
body right now. There's some people, and I don't mean this. I'm not trying to be macabre, but there's some people. I mean, a dear friend of ours, his wife passed away this week.
Yeah.
She's no longer here. Blood's no longer flowing through her veins. Oxygen's no longer, created in her body. You and I have the gift of life today. Oh, let's be grateful for that, right? I mean, when you start thinking, it's just a boom, boom, boom. You and I, we are connecting on a computer. And the connection is amazingly crystal clear.
Yeah.
Do you remember Skype from 7 years ago
Yeah.
or 10 years ago? We couldn't have done this. The record. And think about all of the millions of things involved in making this conversation possible in this moment. The technology. I mean, all of it, the computer technology, the electricity. Wow, wow. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for. And all of a sudden, you're just like, man, the list is endless.
And so it grows, as you say, it's a renewable source. So once I kind of start thinking about the warm water, then I start thinking about the water, then and so it becomes bigger. I also heard a video this morning, I can't remember who it was, a actress saying gratitude is so strong. Imagine someone gave you a gift and you looked at it and you said, it's the wrong color and it doesn't fit me, and that person isn't going to want you to give you a gift again. But if you look at the gift and you say thank you and what you appreciate about it, that person is going to go and look for things that they can gift you because it's such a rewarding experience.
Okay, so now you've touched on something else, Michelle. Their research has shown that there are at least 3 parties that benefit from the exchange of gratitude.
Yeah.
Now, we naturally think the person to whom gratitude is expressed, they receive a benefit. True. Well, you also, being the person that expresses gratitude, receive a benefit. And there's studies shown that even if you're expressing gratitude to someone who has passed away and you cannot physically sit down, talk to them, express that to them, or give them the letter you write, the very act of you still expressing gratitude to them benefits you. Then there's this third audience, anybody who happens to witness the exchange of gratitude, because what you just said is what's so important. They go, oh, these are grateful people. And if I were to give a gift, my gift would be appreciated as well. So let's take this into the workplace.
Yeah.
A leader is expressing gratitude to a team member for their extraordinary effort, and other team members and see this and go, wow, well, what if I gave extraordinary effort? My effort would be appreciated too, because these are people who appreciate people going above and beyond. So 3 parties
Yeah.
benefit. And that's the other thing. I start thinking about this envelope.
Yeah.
How many postal workers see this envelope as they're delivering it? And
Yeah.
they may, what? I'm grateful for you. I mean, I just love it, right?
That's
Because
it.
it
Yeah.
grows.
Yeah. And that now brings me back to what you said earlier about the heart. So, you know, that's where gratitude lies, isn't it? And once you open your heart, it kind of just pushes, because it wants to open more, because that's where that feeling and things come in. And maybe, I'm sure you're gonna be able to tell me, maybe that's where we need to make the shift from the head to the heart.
Okay, wow, wow. You got all day? We can just talk all day. Wow. Hey, you watching? I hope you're enjoying this as much as Michelle and I are enjoying this. And imagine that you're just here in the room with us. I mean, that's how I love thinking of these conversations, that it's just the 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
Because you watching, you're probably watching this in private moment, right? You alone. So just imagine that you're in the 3rd chair here with us and we're having this conversation. Yeah, right. The so so many things. And let me just pause here and say this. I do some reading of gratitude. I do some studying, but you know what I really study? I study people and what happens when we embrace and express gratitude. So 2 things closely connected. The number 1 skill, and you've seen it. You've seen people posting about it in this 30 days journey. What do people talk about? The pause, the power of the pause, learning to pause, pausing in difficult moments, pausing, whatever, but just learning to pause. And what does pausing make possible? It is the shift. And I believe gratitude, you talked about joy and kindness and all of these others. I believe gratitude is the most effective lever you and I can pull to make a shift happen. And wow. Okay, you want to talk about reflecting on the year.
Yeah.
Okay, there is this thing that whether you, and I'm sure you being the kind of people you are, you've probably heard this. If you haven't heard the phrase, you know the phrase the moment I mention it, we start talking about it. It's the negativity bias, right? And when we're asked to reflect on the year, well, unless you wrote a New York Times best-selling book, you may be thinking, I didn't really accomplish much this year. Because we go into the negativity, we look at all of the things that didn't go the way we had hoped. Dan Sullivan, success coach, wrote this amazing book. It's actually Benjamin Hardy wrote the book. It's Dan Sullivan's idea. The gap or the gain. The gap or the gain. That most of us entrepreneurs, high achievers, the first thing we look at when somebody asks, so how's it going? How's business? Whatever, we look at the gap between where we are in this moment and where we really aspire to be. And what we see is a gap. So if you're reflecting back on this year and you go, well, how was 2022 for you? Or if you're watching this some point in the future, it's another year, you're wondering, often the first thought is, well, the things that didn't happen, the things that didn't go as well as I had hoped, right? I had hoped we'd have dozens of people, hundreds of people. We got 2, right? I mean, that's gap thinking, game thinking. Wow. Let's reflect back where you were this time last year. And what are all of the things, however large, small, significant, seemingly insignificant, have you accomplished? Have you created? So one day, I was calling my friend Laura. Laura's a creator.
Yeah.
And Laura had just created her first program on the platform that we host, 30 Days in the Power of Gratitude, the 7-day exploration of gratitude, 21 days, 21 ways of growing gratitude. All of these programs we host on one platform. And I've now hosted 30-something programs on that platform. Laura was hosting her first.
Yeah.
And folks, well, if this does not describe your experience, you have something to be grateful for. If your first experience exceeded all of your wildest dreams and expectations in terms of the number of participants and in terms of revenue booked, high five, stop right now and express gratitude for that, because I don't know anybody else who's ever done that. Do you, Michelle?
Exactly. No, I agree completely. Yeah.
Right. So, wow. Yeah. Okay, so the very first time I hosted this program, it was a fee-based program. I don't think anybody paid for the program. Nobody paid full price. Some people may have paid 10%. I don't know. But what were we doing? I was learning the platform. We were creating testimonials for the next one, the next one, and the next one. So my friend Laura, and I asked a question of her when I called her, and she helped me discover the power of this question. I mean, I didn't even realize how powerful the question was, Michelle. But I'm calling her. I knew she launched her program this day because I had provided some coaching to her, some encouragement to help her. And I said, Laura, what do you choose to celebrate from today's launch?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Now, she didn't tell me this until the next day. She sent me a text the next morning that blew my mind. She said, Kevin, when you asked me that question, I remember I was in the kitchen cooking dinner, moaning, in a pity party of how poorly the day went. And you asked me, what do you choose to celebrate? And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe there is something to celebrate. And she was still struggling in that moment. I said, well, Laura, I'd like to celebrate this with you. She said, what's that, Kevin? I said, this time yesterday, this offering didn't exist.
Yeah.
Today it does.
Yeah.
I'd like to celebrate that. It doesn't matter that 7 people signed up instead of 70 or 17, right? It doesn't matter that the 7 people that signed up, none of them paid, or none of them paid full price. Yeah. I mean, that's what this thing does to us. We start analyzing all of that, and we're in a funk. We're beating ourselves up. We're just like, blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't even be creating content because my content sucks. No, you created content that didn't exist yesterday. Could it be better? Well, probably. Everything we do can be better, but we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And once you've started, well, now you've unleashed something in the world that wasn't there before. And for that, I want to say high five. I want to say congratulations. I want to say pause and express gratitude for that. You started something. There's so many people that have ideas of wanting to do something, but never start.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know we were going to go here.
No, that's amazing. And what comes up for me there is a lot is that comparison. Who are we comparing ourselves to? Are we comparing ourselves to a really successful person that's already gone through all this. They also started somewhere and also had these things. Or are we comparing ourselves to where we were last year or yesterday, or, you know, and
Yeah.
then to choose? Do we choose? Because it all lies in choice. We can choose to get stuck in that dark night of the soul, because it's very easy to get stuck in there, or we can choose to
Mm.
pause
Mm.
and celebrate and be grateful for those things. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Michelle, I was in a stuck place earlier this week. Let me just be honest. I was in a stuck place. Um, and I don't like being in a stuck place. And I was spending extra time in gratitude and journaling and journaling some of this new dark night of the soul, right? And just frustrations with business and frustrations with the world economy that seem to have impacts on our business. And dang it, just when things we seem to be getting out of one malaise in the world, now here comes recession.
Yeah.
And I reached out to some friends,
Mm.
and I'm just like, wow, you got a moment to chat?
Mm.
And then one of these, my coach, he didn't know. I just booked a session, right? There's a link, book a session. I booked a session. Like, man, I need to talk today.
Yeah.
And in that conversation, I mean, all of these things I'm talking about, things I know, but he really helped me in the moment separate the impact of my work,
Mm.
the difference we're bringing to the world with a gap of revenue for that work.
Yeah.
The two are linked, but just because you may not be breaking revenue records yet doesn't mean you don't have value, you don't have worth, and you're not making a difference for others.
Yeah.
Separate those, right? I had somehow gotten those two things intricately linked. And in that, wow, while I'm on this call, you saw the challenge earlier this week to leave a voice message on
Yes.
LinkedIn to someone.
Yeah.
Well, someone left me a voice message. And Michelle, I will just tell you, first time I've ever done this. This voice message was so powerful that I hit Otter. I use Otter, a
Yeah.
transcription
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
I started Otter. I played this recording, let Otter record it, transcribe it, printed it out, and posted it.
Oh, wow.
Oh my! And I messaged my friend. I was like, "You have no idea. You have no idea. This is the most affirming message I've ever received. And oh my gosh, I needed it today.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mind blowing, mind blowing.
Yeah.
And we all need it. When we need it, we need to have somebody to lean into and to ask for help. And asking for help is one of the hardest things
Yeah.
we
Definitely.
ever do.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know the book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse?
Yes, I've heard. I haven't read it, and it's come up for me a few times.
So, oh, it's an amazing book by a
Yeah.
fellow Brit,
Yeah.
Charlie Mackesy. But there's this one, and uh, the 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 deepest the deepest philosophical book I've read in recent years, and it's categorized as a children's book.
Oh,
The
yes.
illustration.
It's gorgeous.
What is the bravest thing you've ever said? Asked the boy. Help,
Mm.
said the horse. When have you been at your strongest? Asked the boy. When I have dared to show my weakness. Asking for help isn't giving up, said the horse. It's refusing to give up.
Yeah.
Right? So somebody needs that. Somebody right now, you're on the verge of wanting to give up, to quit, to throw in the towel. No, 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 no. Ask for help.
Yeah.
And you're in a
Or be
community.
vulnerable. It's that vulnerability. We so taught and indoctrinated to be strong, and as you say, our value is related to our bank accounts or our revenue, and we need to break that mental path, because otherwise we keep on beating ourselves up for something. I mean, money wasn't created by a other world, out of worldly power. It's a man-made concept.
Oh, and
Yeah,
it is, yeah. And if we think it's real, I mean, which we do,
we
we
do.
live
Yeah,
in this world.
yeah,
But once we got away from the gold standard, it's all made up. I mean,
exactly. Yeah,
it's just paper.
yeah.
Which
But
is why you can counterfeit it if you're really good and get away with it.
yeah, but you can't counterfeit gratitude and heartfelt connections. That's just
So, Michelle,
wow,
I
as
just
you
have to
should say.
pause. Every one of you watching this, please reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn. I want you in my world, and I want to be in yours.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful world, and I love that I'm connected to that world. I think we often see, people doing big things like you do
Oh, but
as
see, now
this.
here's what's interesting. I don't think I do big things, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's what's so
but you
funny.
do, and you don't see that from that perspective, which is such an important thing for us all to remember, that by doing what we do with passion and with gratitude, we make a ripple. There's a ripple in the I don't know,
The
frequency of
universe.
the
Let's
world.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, the world, the universe. Okay, so Michelle, I want to, gosh, I do this now. I've gotten, let's just pause a moment, right? Oh, you're not supposed to have silence in a video. Screw that. Let's just pause. What's one thing that you gave birth to this year that you're excited about, or that you were excited about at the moment you gave birth to it, and you've lost that excitement now? Think back to that. Think back to that. Regain that excitement for being someone who does inspired work, who takes an idea that just pops into your head, heart, soul, wherever ideas pop. I don't know. I'm serious. I don't know where they pop. I'm just glad they do. Now, let's talk about inspired work a moment, since you brought this. I mean, it just took me to inspired work. 6 years ago, I heard these 4 words. And again, Michelle, I didn't hear them audibly. I don't know where I heard them. But the words were more led, less driven. More led,
Oh,
less
I
driven.
love that.
And that's how I want to live, create, and work and lead now. More led, less driven. I have been driven through a large portion of my life by things that aren't good drivers.
Mm.
Insecurity, achievement, status rankings, comparison, all of those. Yeah, let's just chunk all of that.
Yeah.
But I want to do inspired work. And everything, I can just tell you this. And I'm not, you, Michelle, and you watch, I'm talking to you too, okay? I want you to hear this. Everything I've done in the last 5 years came from an inspired idea, right? There was just an idea. And there are times I just, I want to be careful where this is shown, because we show this some places and I'm being locked away, right? Oh, he hears voices. No, I heard something. I heard these words. Host a gratitude challenge. Host a gratitude challenge. I had just, the previous year, I had been diving deep into gratitude personally. A year later, well, 15 months later, one morning I hear these words, host a gratitude challenge. I called a friend that was joining me on the podcast I hosted at the time, who'd written a book on gratitude. I said, hey, Steve, got an idea. You want to join me and us host a gratitude challenge? I'm expecting Steve to give me all of these questions, how would we do that? Steve goes, sure, count me in. And then I call my friend Christy, who's been my coach, friend, co-creator of everything I've done in the past 7 years now. Amazing human. Hey, Christy, got this idea. You want to join me and host a gratitude challenge? She goes, yes. I was thinking it was time we do something else, right? It was time for something. So we host this gratitude challenge. That responding to that one 4-word idea, that invitation, host a gratitude challenge. I did not hear it as a voice saying, thou shalt host a gratitude challenge, right? It was an invitation. Host a gratitude challenge. Now, when an inspired idea comes my way, when one comes your way, I'm just going to talk personally. If this helps you, and I hope it does, I've developed that I have a 2-part response when an idea knocks at my door, an inspired idea knocks at my door. Response number 1, say yes.
Yeah.
Host a gratitude challenge. Yeah. What does that mean? Heck, I don't know. How are you going to do it? Heck, I don't know. Right? What's that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, all of those things I didn't know, but just say yes.
Yeah.
Second thing, take action. Do something. Do something. Pull out, if you're a journaler, pull out a piece of paper, start journaling. If you're an artist, a creative artist with, your hands and stuff, which I'm not. Words are how I create. For years, I didn't think I was creative because an art teacher criticized me in 7th grade. Okay, so I'm going to be incredibly tacky here, but it's just true. My art teacher was cross-eyed. She may not have even been looking at me or talking to me. I thought she was. And I carried this shame of being a horrible artist. And I really don't even draw good stick figures, right? When we play Pictionary or what is that other game? But these
Cranium and
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, my granddaughter, Emma, who I really believe loves me, I'm one of her favorite people in the world. When she was choosing teams she chose her 6-month-old brother, Tyler, for her team before she picked me. I was the last pick above a 6-month-old, and he couldn't even draw, right? I was just like, wow, talk about insecurity. You're feeding it, Emma. But sketch it out. Start envisioning what could this look like, or get a friend on the phone. Start talking it out. Do something. Do something. And my friend Rich Sheridan, who's a dear, dear friend of mine, mentor of mine, met him 10 or 11 years ago. In that very first conversation, Rich said, Kevin, around here we don't burn the ships and we don't boil the ocean. We just run the experiment. When an idea comes, okay, if you're anything like I used to be, perfectionist, I could take 90 days to create the 90-day plan for the first 90 days of a project. Now you got the plan. Well, we can spend another 90 days trying to perfect the plan.
Yeah.
Or you can run the experiment. So August 24th, this year, somebody was asking me yesterday, they said, what year is this? I'm like, 2022, this was this year. August 24th, there are 3 of us in a meeting. And we were creating another program that we were just putting finishing touches on. And World Gratitude Day was coming up on September 21st. And this team member says, what could we do the first 21 days of September leading up to World Gratitude Day? What could we do? Wow. Michelle, God's honest truth. 15 minutes later, we had the idea of what we're going to do. 45 minutes later, we had sketched out a plan. 6 days later, we launched this. 6
Amazing.
days later.
Yeah.
Because it was an inspired idea. I didn't even have the idea, right? It wasn't me. Someone else on the team has the idea. Brings us up, wow, what if we did this? And what we created was 21 days, 21 ways of growing gratitude. What if we just share one idea a day? And what if we try to grow the audience every day? See how big we can grow this over 21 days. What if, what if, what if? And so all of it was an experiment.
Yeah.
The whole thing was an experiment. Now, I will tell you, it was an incredibly amazing, successful, impactful experiment that created life change, transformation for people. But the old Kevin would never have been capable. We would have done that maybe 2023, maybe 2024, maybe never.
Well, it's that never that's the problem, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
But when it's like, let's run the experiment.
Yeah.
Run the experiment. We launched in 6, and now we were still building the plane as we were flying it. Trust me, and one of the things, we had this idea of doing something, and it made the project so much better.
Yeah.
And it made the project so much more complex, in that rather than me, okay, let's talk content college
That's right.
creators, right?
Yeah.
We shared a way of growing gratitude every single day. And that afternoon, we started a list. Let's just make this list. So I've gotten quite comfortable, as you and I were talking even before we hit record this video. I remember 4 years ago when I would not dare do a solo video, because if I were to do a solo video, it would, I would script it, and then I would try to read it and not sound like I'm reading it, but sounded like I was reading it. And then I would, seriously, 2 hours, and on take 18, realize that take 18 is no significant better than take 1, and just say, screw this, and publish it, right?
Yeah.
But I would always get my friend Christy, because, I mean, Michelle, folks, if you're watching this, there is no script. You probably figured that out by now. I mean, I asked Michelle, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. Let's just hit record and see what comes up. That's the best way to create content, folks. But we had this idea. What if, instead of me creating video, because I'll create videos now like crazy. I've created, I don't know, 1,000 videos in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I've gotten so comfortable with creating videos, because and may I tell you, I mean, I've never created a perfect video yet, right? Not yet.
Salvador Dali said,
Yeah,
even Salvador Dali said, don't strive for perfection because it doesn't exist. I mean,
but we think, oh, if I just, let me try it again, it'll be better. Let me try it again. Just do it. Just do it. So then we thought, well, wow, what if we recruited people to share one of their ways for growing gratitude rather than me? Because I could have created 21 videos. This isn't, I don't mean this as bragging at all. I could create 21 videos, 3-minute videos in an afternoon, and just one after another. And maybe even remember to change shirts so I didn't look the same in all of videos, or maybe just record them all in the same shirt,
Yeah.
But we said, what if we brought somebody in? What if that made the program infinitely better, because we co-created the content. And when we co-create things, guess what happens? There's joint ownership of what's created. And now people that may never think of sharing a video of Kevin, I mean, who wants that? But hey, I'm on the video with Kevin. I want to share this video because it makes me look good, because I'm considered having an idea that's worth sharing with the world now.
Yeah.
So we did that. It complexified the program infinitely.
Yeah.
But it made it 100 times better.
Yeah. And that's the new universe. It's that collaborative. There's a book I've been reading about citizens, and it's, we are creative collaborative beings. We need to connect so that we can create together, because it's so much more powerful, as your experiment proved again.
So much more powerful. So much more. So who's in your creative circle?
Yeah.
Who can you invite into your creative circle? Who can you co-create something with that will be infinitely better than either of you could ever create alone?
Yeah, exactly. And I want to share with you the tagline for Content College is ideas inspire impact. So you've just pretty much taken each of those things and explained them beautifully.
Wow, I didn't know that. I love that.
I know.
I mean, that is, and I believe everyone watching this, every clubber in Content College,
Yeah.
you create for impact.
Yeah.
You create because there's a change you want to see sparked in the world. And let me just, oh gosh, okay, now I'm thinking of my friend Vicky, who does work on joy.
Yeah.
And early on started, oh gosh, I didn't know other people were doing work on joy. I thought this was new. I thought I had the corner on the market. I thought I was the only person creating content about joy. Maybe there's not a need for joy content. Maybe there's not a market for my content on joy. Oh, because there's so many more people out there doing it. Have you ever felt like that? Have you, Michelle, ever felt like that? Why bother? Hey, folks, let me just look. Can I promise you this? I am not the only person promoting gratitude in the world today. I am not. There are, God, and I hope there are millions. I really do. I hope there are millions because we now have 8 billion people we need to reach. Right? And I don't know. I don't mean to sound this like I'm a doubter, but I really don't know how to reach 8 billion people by myself.
No, you can't. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to. That's why,
right?
it's
So I hope there are
contagious. Yeah.
other people, but here's something I have discovered. Here's what I helped my friend Vicky discover. And if you have not yet discovered this, you watching, I hope you discover it. I'm pretty sure Michelle's already figured this out. Maybe that the way you do it, no one else of the 8 billion people on the planet can do it the way you do it. And there's some segment of those 8 billion people who will receive it when you do it, and they won't hear it or receive it from any of the other 8 billion people on the planet. So create it. Somebody needs you to create what it is you want to bring to life, because the impact you will have, no one else can have exactly the way you can have it.
And that is so true. That is so true. It's like a key. Some of us unlock certain people. Um, yeah.
Okay, so I will tell you, I mean, it took me years to figure this out. Years. I mean, I don't mind saying this. I'm 63 years old, and somebody asked me something yesterday, and I went back. I remember a shift that happened, Michelle.
Mm.
However, I grew up with a loving family, but we weren't rich people materially. I didn't know that, but we weren't. Um, but I grew up in any time. I mean, I'm 50 plus years old, and anytime people are asking me for something, well, who am I to do that?
Yeah.
Who am I? Hey, oh, you need a keynote speaker? I know some great keynote speakers. Let me introduce you to these great keynote speakers. I know. No. We want you. No, well, who am I? Who am I? Then I made a shift, and I rewired the default programming in my brain from who am I to another 3-word mantra that serves me so much better. Why not me?
Yeah.
They asked me to be the keynote speaker. They didn't ask me, hey, Kevin, do you know a great keynote speaker? They go, Kevin, we want you to be our speaker. And I go, well, who am I to be your speaker? Let me introduce you to somebody. No, we want you.
Yeah.
I was like, why not me?
Mhm.
Why not you? Why not now? So there is something, you, and back, man, let's talk about this. There's something that can unlock in you that then you can unlock in others that needs to be unlocked in the world. Get busy unlocking it.
Yeah. The world needs a lot of unlocking, because
Yeah.
we being bombarded with the other messaging about, look up to this or do it this way, and fear and recessions and wars and things like that. We need to choose our circles well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. See if I, who was it that said it? Is one of the early pioneers of motivational work. The 5 people you spend the most time with, those are the people that will determine who you will become. So look at your circle, right? If you don't want to be like those people, find other people to be with that you want to be like. I mean, that and hang out with them.
Yeah.
Michelle, let me just share. Here is what it took me years to discover this, but in this gratitude journey, I discovered the unique value proposition to my work. And I'm just going to tell you, folks. I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world on gratitude. I am not the person to come and explain the neurochemical and the neurochemistry of your body, because there are, molecular biologists, there are neuroscientists that are gifted to do that beyond what I could ever be. Why would I even try to compete with them, right? It's foolish. But I landed on a 1-sentence explanation that is my value proposition. Gratitude experienced is better than gratitude explained. And what I do is create atmospheres, environments, opportunities for you to experience gratitude. And then when you experience gratitude, okay, you can go to one of the greatest lectures on gratitude in the world. At the end of that lecture, you go, gosh, maybe I should be more grateful. Maybe I should give that a try. You come to one of our events, at the end of it, you go, wow, that felt great. What is this I feel? I don't know. I mean, it just feels good. Right now, somebody else can tell you those are endorphins. That's oxytocin, and that's serotonin. I mean, that's dopamine. You just got a rush of dopamine in your body. I can't explain how it works, but I can help it happen.
Yeah. And it's moving from mind to heart, from head to
moving from
heart.
mind to heart. Yeah. Right. How do we do that? What is it that you do, right? So, I just stumbled into this. I stumbled into this by spending time, prayer, meditation, opening myself up, trying to hear this, because a friend had invited me to do a webinar. And I'm like, gosh, Tracy, a webinar just doesn't seem the right thing to do for me to share gratitude. Well, what would you do, Kevin? I don't know, Tracy. Give me 2 weeks and I'll get back to you. And on a morning walk, one morning, I can take you to the side street I was on. Ideas started. I stopped. I sat down, flipped out my phone, opened Evernote.
Yeah.
And in 7 minutes, designed what would become a gratitude encounter.
Amazing.
And I've now done hundreds of those. And I've done those for some of the most amazing companies on the planet that I never imagined that I could say would be my clients, including the NHS of the UK.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, let me tell you how the NHS became a client. We tried to gift them a gratitude encounter. We did this thing in 2020 or 2021, early 2021. Nominate somebody, especially some organization that's on the front lines of responding to the pandemic. We want to gift them a gratitude encounter. We want to gift them gratitude to help them renew, recharge, refuel, right? Somebody nominated the NHS, clinical CCL or whatever that is, the district, but anyway, they knew somebody, so they nominated one. So we created a gift certificate. We gifted it to them. Several weeks later, they're like, we're really excited. But our ethics people say we can't receive this as a gift. It's because it was a
Yeah.
$2,000 value, right? We can receive a $25 gift. We can't receive a 2,000-pound gift. What would you charge us to do one for us? Because we still want it.
Amazing.
That's how the NHS became a client.
And it's because you opened yourself, so you were led, not driven. You were led to gift, and that turned into a paying client.
Yeah, they wanted it. They could not accept it as a gift because of ethics. So NHS, Pfizer became a client last year. PepsiCo, this year, Amazon, AWS. I mean, Michelle, if you would have asked me 2 years ago when I was just starting this, hey, you think in a year's time you'll be doing work with some of the most admired companies on the planet? I'm like, yeah, right. Me from my home office doing it. I mean, I don't know how to go knock on the door of PepsiCo. I wouldn't know where to go to say, hey, buy something for me, hire me to do this.
They
We were
came
doing
knocking.
They came knocking
Yeah.
because I gifted things to the world. The first Tuesday of every month. This started. Okay, so September 10th, 2020, I'm on my morning walk. And this may just tell you how weird I am, okay? This was the phrase verbatim that passed through my mind. Of all of the things that energize and excite you, what is the one thing that has the broadest appeal and the greatest impact? Now, that may be a little strange question, but I'd read the book, The One Thing,
Yeah.
right? So I'm familiar with this concept. If you look at Strengths Finder from Gallup, my number one strength is learner, right? So this, of all of the things that excite you. So Michelle, and some of you, know what it's like to be a learner. We're lifelong learners. We're always learning something. Do you ever get bored with what you've learned? And, I mean, I've created so many programs for people. Hey, Kevin, could you? Oh, yeah, man, I'd love to create a program like this. And what I tell myself is I'll do this dozens of times, hundreds of times. I do it 3 times and I'm bored, right? And then I'm ready to create something else. That's how I create programs. Well, this gratitude work, I mean, it so thoroughly changed my life. That day, September 10th, when that question came, of all of the things that energize and excite you, what is the one thing that has the broadest appeal and greatest impact? My immediate answer was gratitude. And that was the day that I pivoted everything and went 100% into the gratitude business. I didn't know you could go into the
You
gratitude
didn't know
business.
there was a business.
I didn't know there was a business. I'm serious. I'd hosted this one event that we called a gratitude encounter for a friend of mine in World Blue. Then I'm like, well, how do I go into the gratitude business? Well, what do you have in your hands? Well, I have a gratitude encounter. I'm going to start hosting these once a month, first Tuesday of the month, 12 noon Eastern time. And I committed, oh my gosh, here's another learning moment maybe for somebody. Do you ever start something that doesn't go as well as you want it to go on the first time you do it, or the second time, or the third time, and you get discouraged and give up and quit? That happens to me. So I didn't even remember this. I mentioned Christy earlier. I put all of these on a calendar, set up a link. At that time, we were using Eventbrite, so people could register because we were creating. And Christy goes, "How many did you create?" I don't know. Let me look. I created 7 months worth. I committed to do this for 7 months before deciding, is this worthwhile doing or not? Because I know my proclivity to do something once and it doesn't have that overnight success, which is a myth, right? So I committed to do it 7 months before I would pull the plug. Well, after 3 months, October, November, December, by January 2021, I knew we were going to keep doing this for all of 2021. So November 8th. So coming up December, December 6th, the first Tuesday in December, that will be month 26 of doing this every single month. Yeah. And I have no plan. We got plans to do it all of 2023 at this moment. Right. So in that very first session, a friend of mine, Tobit, shows up, loves it. And afterwards he goes, you know, this is a commercially viable service, don't you? I have no idea. Will you help me turn it into a commercially viable service? Yes, I will. 1 year later, from that time, Pfizer and PepsiCo joined as clients on the same day.
Wow. On the same day.
Same day. I am at lunch with a couple of friends and I get the contract. I talked to some people at PepsiCo. I got the contract. PepsiCo's, oh, it's a deal. Wow, we're doing this. We had a date. We had a signed contract 7 hours later. And
Wow.
it was late into the evening. The VP at Pfizer said, you will have a contract today. 8, 9 o'clock at night, still no contract. Contract comes.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? This was an idea 13 months ago. It was just created. 12 months ago, we started creating this as a commercially viable service. And on the same day in November 2021, received contracts from PepsiCo and Pfizer in the same day.
In 7 hours, I must say, I noticed 7 coming up a lot. 7 months. You've been working with Christy for 7 years creatively. 7. There's a lot of 7s and 3s. 2 of my favorite numbers. Very interesting. And this has grown now. So I must share that I got this wonderful package in the mail today, into cards. So there's this one, and then we have the smaller ones. I think there we go. And these ones are amazing because you can, I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
There's space on the back, so you can add personal notes to it. And then obviously the big envelope, which will be sent to your friends. And this was another inspired idea.
Okay, so inspired idea, Michelle. Are we okay on time? No, I'm thinking,
Yeah. It's a
let's do a
celebratory.
7-minute. Let's do a 7-minute video. No. So in May of this year, I had the invitation to present to a guy on Friday to be considered as a speaker for a significant event for what would be my ideal client. I mean, my ideal client. And my friend Susie, we just happened to be meeting on Thursday. We had a meeting set on Thursday. And Susie says, so Kevin, what are you going to pitch him on? I'm like, well, this gratitude stuff, Susie. She goes, well, maybe you want to be a little more specific. I'm like, well, this gratitude encounter, there's something I do in every gratitude encounter. And I said, I've done thousands, 1,000 videos at this point. Almost every one of those from 2020, 2021 into 2022, there was something I started saying at the end of almost every video. What is it?
I'm grateful for you.
Thanks for watching. I'm grateful for you. And I'm sorry. I mean, I say this. So Michelle's in a program right now. There are 3 videos dropped a week. Every one of them goes, I hope you don't get tired of hearing this, but I'm thankful. I'm grateful for you. Thanks for watching. I'm grateful for you. I'm like, in every gratitude encounter, we take a moment in a gratitude encounter and we have some kind of theme each meeting. And then it's who is a person in this description that's inspired you, that has encouraged you, that has cheered you on, whatever that is. Let's pause right now and let's send them a text and tell them, I'm grateful for you. Here's why. I said, so imagine this, 9,000 people in a meeting, and we take this moment and everybody in the meeting, we've teed this up, however we're going to do this, whatever value we're tying into of this organization, who's that person? And right now, everybody send them a message. Susie goes, well, what else could you do? I'm like, well, what else would we need to do? Wouldn't that be awesome? Then I'm like, well, I've had this idea of having a card. And on the front of the card, it says, I'm grateful for you. And on the back, it's blank. And I think of the big card as a legacy card. This is a legacy card, right? This is if you're sending somebody a gift, somebody's receiving an award, and you're writing a longer note. This is a legacy card. This is an impact card. This is when you catch somebody, what Kim Blanchard says, catch somebody doing something right in the workplace, right? If you want to grow values, catch somebody doing something right. You don't beat up somebody who's doing something wrong, right? You don't crush them down. You lift up people that are doing something right. So who is somebody? Or, I mean, this happens all the time now, Michelle, people in the workplace, or I mean, like in the market. They're in the Starbucks or the Panera Bread or whatever those coffee shops are, in your part of the world, wherever you're joining from. And they have an amazing encounter with the barista. And they just write a note on the back of the card and give it to the barista and go, wow, that was amazing. Thank you for your service today. And so I have this call with this guy on Friday to present all of these ideas. And I'm saying, imagine you have a card that it's about this size. I mean, this is how I'm doing this in this presentation. And on the front, it says, I'm grateful for you. And on the back, it's blank. And then there's a smaller card, like a business size card. And on the front, it says, I'm grateful for you. And on the back, it's blank. We 30-minute call. That's all we had. 25 minutes in, the guy's name's Harrison. Harrison says, Kevin, I'm shortlisting you to be a speaker at this event. I'm not the person to make the decision, but I'm sending you on. Like, Harrison, may I ask, what was it that, you heard that you want to shortlist me? He goes, it's that little card. It's that little card, right? Because most things that happen in a conference, they're forgotten by the end of the conference, or at least a week after the conference. But imagine if in all of our restaurants all over the world, team leaders have these I'm grateful for you cards. And every time they see a team member or even a customer doing something amazing, they recognize them and they express gratitude for them. That would be transformational to our culture, and it would last for years to come. That's why. The next week, I'm thinking, if they liked it, there's somebody else that'll probably like it too. Why wait to be anointed, chosen by them for this program? Let's create them. So I call up Susie. Susie, will you design me a card? Right? And I pitch her on. You remember that card we talked about? So we created these cards. I ordered 2,500 of these, 500 of these with envelopes, and then created instructions of to invite people into this. And started gifting them to friends of mine around the world. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to, just how do we prove the concept? We get it out there. So now we probably have 250 people in 25 countries using these cards. We've printed 10,000 of the little cards and 2,500, 3,000 of the big cards. And just almost every day, we're sending them out to some part of the world. And it's amazing. But it was an inspired idea, birthed in conversation with a trusted friend and co-creator and collaborator.
And now it's in England also. It's in
Australia, it's in New Zealand, it's in parts of Asia, right? I mean, we've it's all over the UK. It's all okay. So here's another version. So I told you, right? We're distributing these globally is a bit of a challenge. So I had the opportunity to do a program in September for an organization in the UK.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out how to ship cards. And the guy says, well, I can print cards. Would you let me print cards? And I'm like, sure. And I kind of hear the conditions, right? The back still got to be blank. It has to have this website, I'mGratefulForYou.co, because we want to collect stories. And Oracle, Oracle of the UK printed cards and gave them to their clients. And I hosted a gratitude session for them to bring gratitude into some of the leading companies in Europe, right? Wow. It all started with an inspired idea.
And it's so simple. It's so simple. It's just, I am grateful for you. And that's it.
So the magic is what you write on the back.
Yeah.
That's the magic, folks. I mean, that's the magic. So my friend Vicky, She works for Pfizer. She's probably given out more of these, or she's in the top 2, if not the top 1, of how many given out personally. Gives them out every day, and sends me stories all the time. And she says, Kevin, here's what happens, right? People read the words on the front, they turn it over, read the words on the back, and as they do, tears fill their eyes, and they take the card, you used this word earlier, and press it to their heart.
Yeah.
And we have a moment. Now, last week, she tells me she's at a Panera Bread picking up a lunch for a group of doctors that she's about to go see in an in-service. The person working the line doesn't speak English, but was amazing service. And Vicky takes a card, writes something on the back, gives it to her, and can tell the lady can't read it, doesn't understand it, right? Language barrier. The manager is there, comes over, and Vicky says, I gave her a card, and he takes the card. He speaks her language.
Yeah.
He shares the card with her. Tears started coming down her cheeks. Right? It spans culture. It spans language. Gratitude is this universal feeling.
There we go, because it's from the heart, and that's where we need to go back to, because we just want to, I mean, we want to be seen and appreciated. And
so, okay, those 3 words: seen, valued, and appreciated. Everybody wants to be seen, valued, and appreciated, especially after 1,000 days of COVID, which we are approaching 1,000 days of COVID, and people have been isolated. People have been invisible. People feel no one cares about them. I mean, there's this thing, whatever labels you want to call it, the Great Resignation, all of these things. Why? Because they don't feel seen, heard, appreciated, seen, valued, appreciated. We want to use these cards to take employee experience, employee recognition, and appreciation to a new level. You just said the level of the heart.
Yeah.
What if we help you infuse gratitude into your workplace culture? And when you express appreciation for an employee, you take time to express appreciation to one employee as a person, not for the accomplishment they did, for the contribution they made, for putting themselves into the work.
Yeah.
Michelle, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for Chris Michelle, who introduced me to you, and I'm so grateful for you sharing your journey and this wonderful message with the Content College clan, I think I'll call them now.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. And, wow. I never want to take for granted when I connect with someone heart to heart. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
That's what we did.
Yeah. Yeah. In many wow ways. Definitely.
Yeah. Wow.
That's it.
So, hey, and you watching, what's the next step for you on your gratitude journey? How can we invite you and empower you to grow gratitude in your life? How can you infuse gratitude to whatever you are creating? Whatever you're creating. Okay, so, oh gosh, one more. I remember there's a pause. I had a client that I'd done some work for in the past, and it's a international organization. Yeah, I'll call their name. Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
So I'm invited to come speak, and I really underbid because they're a nonprofit, and so I'm doing way more work than I feel that I'm being compensated to do. But I'm doing this work. And I'm starting a work session in an afternoon, and I'm starting from a place of scarcity and dread and drudgery. Well, you underbid this. I mean, anybody relate to that in your work?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I don't want to create like this.
Mm-mm.
What if I pause a moment, and what about this situation that in my mind is less than ideal? Not because of them, because of me. I have standards for my work, right? I could have sloughed something off. No, but I'm just putting way more hours so I'm being paid McDonald's wages to do this work because of me, not them, me.
Yeah.
I thought, well, wait a minute. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak at a national conference. I'm grateful for the opportunity to influence leaders of thousands of organizations across the country. I'm grateful to help leaders who are doing amazing work to help seniors who feel neglected, alone, isolated, feel loved, cared for, and fed. Wow. Now let's create out of that space. Let's create out of that space. Let's find something grateful for this project I'm doing. Let's find some gratitude for this opportunity I have, even if nobody's paying you a dime for it. Imagine the impact that the work you're doing right now can have. Express gratitude for that. And let me know if your work doesn't increase in quality. Let me know if you don't improve in joy of doing the work.
And that's it, isn't it? That's all it is about. It's about creating from the heart, from a place of abundance, and you attract all these things just naturally.
Yeah. So if you've got a project that has you down at the moment, and if you've been bitching and moaning about that project, pause right now and reframe that and go, what about this? Do I want to express gratitude? How will I infuse gratitude into this piece of content I am creating? And I'm serious when I say, let me know what happens.
And I'll post all the links to Kevin and to gratitude.co. Gratitude.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you.
Oh,
.co.
sorry. I'm grateful for you.co. I'll put all the links. LinkedIn, Pick My Brain now. First call on the Pick My Brain platform for Kevin. Yes, and we'll share the message together. I think this is the whole thing in this new world that we're creating is a collaborative environment of creating from the heart.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just getting a picture of what's possible.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay. One more. The power of invitation. The power of invitation. March 1st, 2019, I started hosting a weekly event. I was hosting it for 5 weeks as an experiment to see what would happen. I've now hosted a weekly event every week since March 1st, 2019, way before COVID started. And this started growing. People started coming, and we'd ask, hey, how did you find out about it? Why are you, how did you find, what was your path here? And it always included somebody invited me. Somebody invited me. Somebody invited me. And I just started reflecting on that phrase, the power of invitation, the power of invitation. And when you and I invite people into our life, into our work, into your co-creation, who knows what will happen? And when we invite people in a spirit of grace and gratitude, people are as free to say yes as they are as free to say no. There's no obligation. There's no guilt. There's no manipulation. But folks, I want to tell you, okay, I've hosted 3 podcasts. The very first podcast, a podcast didn't even exist. I had an idea for a podcast. This goes back 11 or 12 years. Dan Pink. Do you know the name Daniel Pink?
Yes.
Thrive, and I
Yes.
mean, he is a New York Times, multiple New York Times best-selling author. Dan Pink and I have been in a Twitter conversation over a book he had written.
Yeah.
I get to the last chapter, and it was on serve. That was the title. At that time, I was doing servant leadership. It was all of my work. And I tweet Daniel Pink. Yeah, you talk about an invitation. You talk about going to the A-list, the front of the line of the A-list. I invite them. Hey, Dan, would you like to join me for a podcast and explore the servant leadership concepts of your book, To Sell Is Human? Sure, I'd love to, Kevin. Michelle, I promise you, I mean, this is not exaggerated one bit.
Yeah.
The very next thing I did was Google, how do you record a podcast?
Love it.
That's how I started creating podcasts. I had a guest, an A-list guest, say yes to an invitation, and the podcast didn't even exist. I happen to have a friend, Steve, that I knew was an audio engineer. And that very first podcast, I went to Steve's house and recorded it in his studio. Now I have a microphone, right? Do it right from my home. But then I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I extended an invitation, and somebody said yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So invite. You never know what will happen. And if somebody says no, that's okay. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people tell me no. I've had a lot of people tell me no. But I've had more people tell me yes than no. And I can promise you this, every amazing project I've done collaboratively started with an invitation.
And a yes.
And a yes to that
Yeah.
invitation.
Yeah. For you also to say yes, to do the
For
invitation.
me to say yes, for me, I mean, the universe, God, the universe, however you phrase it, invited me to all of these things. And I just keep saying yes. I keep saying yes. And the amazing things through the power of invitation. So extend one today. If one is extended to you today, please, please, please say yes.
That's it. And that's the perfect note to end it on. And I am still very, very grateful for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the invitation to join you for this conversation. That was an invitation.
Thank you for saying yes. Definitely.